But where's Smitty at though? But
But he normally pops up. But what up, everybody? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like. Come on into the aftermath. Let's go. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Aftermath off season with your boy Cool Cat Connor. Smitty is on the way, but we got my guy King DV in the building. What up, King?
going on, everybody? Look, man, I'm just happy to be here. Talk some Eagles. It's a lot of things to get into to try to get everybody on the same page. Hopefully we can, come to an agreement before, the draft. We're a month away from the draft. And I just can't wait. I can't wait until this draft, man, because it's going to buckle down and let us know everything that we need, uh, going forward,
Yeah.
before June 1st, the June 1st cut. So I'm ready
Yeah.
for the draft, man. I know how we did a lot in the off season, but the draft is where I think that, we can actually get some guys in here that can contribute sooner than later and then also protect our future.
Right. Guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, and comment to all of our channels. The Birds of Bar Street link is in all of our subscriptions. I pinned it on both Birds of Bar Street and Cool Cat Mitch. Please go to the link in the description and I pinned it. Subscribe to the channel, support us out. And we got my guy Smitty Ego in the building. What up, Smitty?
I'm chilling, man. I was in the cooking, man. I was deep frying some ribs, man. I forgot what time it was.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's good.
Yep. So let's talk about the news and updates of our Philadelphia Eagles. First up, Hassan Reddick's situation. According to Sports Centers on Saturday morning, ESPN Jeff Fallon reported that the expectation around the NFL is Reddick will eventually be traded with the Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons as potential landing spots. So, King DV, you saw the reports, you saw the news, your reaction to it, and what's up with Hassan Reddick?
Everybody actually knew, something was going on behind the scenes, but, it's 50-50, at this point, because like I said, he wants to play here. Um, as the time starts dwindling down, we don't know what's the outcome. He can actually bite on a 22 million going down the stretch because he wants to be here. He wants to be on the field. So anything is liable to happen. This is just a report stating that two teams are interested. I did get a good look at what Atlanta what will offer, and then also what Arizona will offer. Both of them got a couple to multiple third round picks.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get a second round pick for him if we were to trade him, but I don't think like it has to wow us to be able to like move somebody like Hassan Reddick. Come on, Hassan Reddick is one of those guys, regardless of his age, that's been consistent. Regardless of it's the beginning of the season or the tail end of the season, he's been consistent with 10 plus sacks a year. So you got to give him his just due. Now he wants to be an Eagle. I don't know if Howie's on the ropes of still keeping him or maintaining him as an Eagle. The worst case scenario of him being an Eagle would be him playing this last year out in his contract and then letting him walk for nothing. Or we could actually franchise tag him, which we never do. So that's out of the window. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, it's either trade him or extend him at this point. But I think they're playing the waiting game because they feel like they got the upper hand, which I'm talking about Philadelphia and Howie Roseman. Feel like that we got the upper hand to the point where the price could drop just like other people that we're trying to get. So we just got to get the number down, and then we probably get back to the drawing board, and we probably come with a conclusion with a 2 to 3 year extension for Hassan Reddick.
Yeah. Go ahead, Smitty.
Oh, I was like, am I frozen or is he not
No,
saying?
what was going? I don't know what was
I was
going
like,
on, bro. I'm
like,
saying here. I'm saying I'm trying to see if you breathing. I'm trying to see if he blinking.
yeah, that's better. That's better.
No, I'm good.
What,
I'm
hey,
good. I'm
Demi,
sorry, y'all. Go ahead, Smitty. My bad.
what was the hey, Demi,
Wi-Fi
what was the first
lagging.
thing you had said when you first started? You said somebody knew something about something. What was going on? I was lost. I was confused.
I'm saying that I knew something was going on behind closed doors, but I
Oh.
felt like 50-50.
No, I thought you said somebody's name. I was like, who? I was
No,
trying
no,
to figure out who the source was. I was no, I kind of
no, no,
knew it, man.
no
Like,
source.
I mean, I wasn't in any type of delusion. I mean, you paid Bryce Huff 17. I mean, the situation was evident off the rip. So, with that being said, I mean, I'm prepared for whatever comes. Would I like to keep Hassan Reddick an Eagle? Yes, 100%, no doubt in my heart. But if it comes down to paying him or trading him, and we can't pay him, I also don't want to let him play for 14.5 million and then let him walk for free. I mean, that's just not an even trade. So I would like to go. If Atlanta is the call, like I've already told y'all, like you got to give me a player and maybe a second round pick. Uh, it, if not, I'm gonna need 2 picks, but I definitely need that 40th pick off you, 100%. I think it's 43. I think I'm gonna need that,
Uh,
100%. So right
I
now,
just had it.
I don't know though. You know, it's a hard situation. It's a hard situation for us because you don't want to let a guy with that type of production leave right out the door, but you also understand it's a business and you can't keep everybody.
Yeah,
But I seen somebody say
43rd.
Terrell. I will. I would take AJ Terrell over James Bradbury 100 times over. So I'm with you on that, brother. But
Yep.
hey, look, it's been phone calls about cornerbacks. It's been phone calls about cornerbacks.
Yeah,
James
that's not phone calls.
Bradbury.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I'm not on that because I don't believe that they're there yet. Until the right
Look,
situation happens.
if it's around the league supposedly from what I was told from somebody. That's all we've been calling about lately. And it's been said from the person that I told you I talked to that it's gonna be pretty much that and anything else that's not addressed before free agency will be addressed in the draft.
I see a trade happening in the draft though. I do.
You see
You
it?
think cool
It can
cat?
happen.
I think it could happen. I think it could happen. When it comes to Hassan Reddick, I would keep him, but I get it. It's a business. I would get a second round pick or a third round pick for him if he does get traded. But you got to keep Hassan Reddick happy sooner or later. So
So I have a question for both of you guys though.
go ahead.
So Sneed, the Sneed situation, he got traded for a third and a seventh. Do you think that helps or hurts Hassan Reddick? Us
It
getting
doesn't
a
affect them at all. Doesn't affect
why?
them at all.
You frozen now, bro. You
He's
frozen
frozen.
now, bro.
Everybody's frozen nowadays. Anyway, for me, it hurts because we're trying to because Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals want them, and we want basically the exact same thing. So yeah, I it yeah. But go ahead,
Yeah, take the
Steve.
frozen me down. I don't know what happened just now, but that's
Crazy.
cool.
That joke was crazy.
I don't think it affect them at all, DV. Like it just don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like cornerback don't affect DN. You know what I mean? Like cornerback, like to me, the only person that could affect the cornerback is a cornerback. Maybe a receiver, maybe, but it's really like DN. Like what it like that's like looking at Chase Young. Didn't he just get 13 million guaranteed? Everybody can say he's like bottom tier DN
Yeah,
right now, right?
yeah.
Like so the I mean, it just I don't think his price is low. I think what it is, teams aren't willing to meet his price either. So
But
teams
why
might
do
be
you think
offering
that?
him the second, but people might not be offering him 25 million.
But why do you think that? Why aren't GMs and teams around the league not holding Hassan Reddick to the highest standard? Because I want everything out on the table so everybody could get the gist of, why this is going on for so long. So why
Because
do you think they're not holding it?
two teams
Go
that's talking to us are sitting in the top 10.
okay.
So one of them can get definitely Atlanta can get a premier DN. So they looking at it like, well, look, we don't necessarily need to give you 25 million because we can go get Dallas Turner. We can go get Latu Latu. We can go get a guy on a 5-year deal and not have to pay him anything. So it's a bargaining chip. Like, why would I give you 25 million when I'm possibly in a position to get the top guy coming out
Okay.
of the
So what
draft?
about Arizona?
They're in the same position.
They are,
They at
but
4. They can
do
easily
you
trade
think?
back and get a DN.
But do you think? But do you
And they got
think
two
that
first round picks.
Jonathan Reddick, Jonathan Reddick, what the hell? Jonathan Gannon. Do you think Jonathan Gannon, knowing that Hassan Reddick actually had his best years with him, do you think that he bites on that? Trying to give him or meet him at the middle at 23, 24?
The only reason I don't believe the Cardinals are in, they don't have much draft capital.
Xavier, Xavier Collins. Hmm.
Hmm.
And what though? And what though?
And what though?
What you
That's
mean?
the hold on. Xavier
Nah, we ain't doing no
Hassan.
we ain't doing no head up for Xavier. Nah.
No, not head up. You need something else with that.
Yeah, you would need something else. Like for
Now the
what?
Cardinals do. The Cardinals do have three third round picks, I believe.
But I heard somebody ask a question, man, and this is what I'm kind of on. What if we could get J.C. Horn, the 33rd pick for her son?
What you think, King? And then I'll respond to it.
Depends on where the back office lie with that. But um, I probably would do it if they not coming to an agreement with the paycheck. We only know that the 25 million was asked by his team, and we also know how Sam Reddick wants to be a Philadelphia Eagle. We want him to still be a Philadelphia Eagle, regardless of his age. But it all depends on where the back office is with it. I think they will probably possibly bite on that, just to get it done and over with. Um, I think they already answered certain questions of what they're willing to pay Reddick, which I think is absurd because we all agree that he outplayed his contract.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
with the
Stu,
payment,
answer Stu question real quick. Yeah, we could
we
use
could.
Reddick, but what would be better than a second round pick that's already there? You can trade Reddick, get the second round pick, then pair the second round pick up with the first round pick and move up if you want to. Because if you get, let's see, 33 or 40, you in a top position to get a top pick in the second round. Why not trade up? Wouldn't you trade up DV with the second round pick? I think the second round pick might carry a little bit more weight than Hassan Reddick.
Like, my thing is that this is what makes me mad about the Kenny Pickett trade, because now we don't have that third. That third is the question. Now I'm like, okay, did they have a plan in place, put in place with a Hassan Reddick or whatever like that? Like, okay, we're going to get that third back anyway, but it depends on who's going to give us that third. Because right now, I don't think, like, it's dwindling down to the point where I don't think that we're going to get a second for him. I don't know. If we did trade him, I don't think we'd get a second for him. We get a player in a third or a third in next year pick, but I don't think it's going to be a second.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think we could get the second. I just think Hassan Reddick on the other end of the deal is not gonna get 25 million.
No, he's not, and that's what's
We
going to
either
make it a
getting the second
standstill.
and he not getting paid, or he getting paid and we not getting the second.
So I said this on my live, and Cool Cat was there.
Yep.
And Stu.
Yep.
What's the percentage do you think that he will sit up there and just play all his contract and bet on himself, so next year he get that payment?
60-40.
You
Him
think
being a
he'll hold
Philly
out?
boy, him being prideful, him being like the guy that kind of like wouldn't want to sit out
Yeah,
the whole
he's a Cam.
season.
He's
I
a
got him.
he's a Camden boy, not a Philly boy. He's a
Yeah, he
tri-state area guy.
Yeah.
but he's a Philly boy.
No, he went to Temple,
Yeah.
but he's from
He
Camden.
claims Philly just as much as he claimed Camden.
Because you can't
Like
sit
this
up there and
home,
go to the West Coast and say I
obviously.
claim Camden. Think of like where? Like Philly is like a major city.
And
Yeah,
I mean, people
I
know
get
what
it.
Camden at. The
They know where
reputation for
it's at.
Camden might not be great, but don't do
Exactly.
Camden like that. Don't do Camden.
No,
But
no, I'm just saying.
he claimed
Philly
Philly
is a
as
major
home
city.
because he right there. He been probably hang out in Philly, everything. But I don't know. I don't know if he would. I think he would sit out and then maybe he would come back. But I think he would put up some type of fight. I don't think he would just immediately be
That's what's
willing
up.
to play. But I think it would be a fight.
Yeah.
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 Like I said on your live stream, King. By the way, salute to the 3K. By the way. Yeah, but like I told you, I wouldn't think he would do it. But I also said, and I think I remember this, don't be surprised if it happens. Because again, Hassan Reddick does want his paper. But again, I don't think he'll do it. Because Hassan Reddick lives in the Philly area, wherever that is, that he lived in Campton or wherever. He lived in the Philly area, so he won't do it. Because he knows this city, he knows this fan base. But the guy, it's a business. Don't be surprised if he does it because he wants his paper. Like he,
My thing though.
I wanna say his house was in Philly before he even started playing for us, if I'm not mistaken. If not, right outside of Philly. It's in PA though. It's not in Jersey.
Yeah, it was in Chester.
Yeah, it's in Westchester, right?
Yeah, it was in there.
Yeah.
So my
See?
thing is like with
So
with the
he a
Philadelphia.
PA boy, man. You can't hey
Just
look,
because
man.
you
He didn't
live
even get a
there,
house in Jersey, man.
I give it to you, man. Look, we can't be we can't be a fan base that is like Hassan Reddick, or if Hassan Reddick is not with the team, then we're not going to the Super Bowl. We can't say stuff like that
right.
because we're the same fan base that's basically saying that a guy like Nolan Smith needs more reps. How do we expect for him to get more reps?
But I think he need more reps, but not more expectations, DV, if that makes sense. When you take
He won't
Hassan
have
Reddick out,
that
hold
this
on,
year. Go,
kinda he will.
go ahead.
Because
Why?
like when you take Hassan Reddick out, right?
Mhm.
Him and Huff are almost in the same shoes. The only difference is Huff has had production in his light amount of snaps, and
Okay.
then you don't know what he's getting in his next amount of snaps, right? And then Nolan Smith hasn't had a lot of snaps or a lot of production, and now he's finna get an uproar in snaps. Now you have Brandon Graham in a position where he has to play more snaps because you don't know what the effectiveness of a Bryce Huff or Nolan Smith is going to be when you get them into the 300s, the 400s. when you start talking those triple digit snaps. You get what I'm saying? So now he has more expectation to perform because when when he leaves, that's 700 plus snaps gone that has to be replaced by four different guys right now because we don't have another guy for the fourth guy. So four different guys right now. He has like that's what I said. Air Force Huff has had production in low amount of snaps, but you don't know what you get when you up the snaps. Now when he starts getting into 400, 500, is his production still the same, DV? That's my question. And then when Nolan Smith started getting into the 200s, 300s, is his production going to amp up and look like what you're giving him for the snaps? So that's why I say like he might need the snaps, but I don't think he needed the expectations. If Hassan Reddick there and he get, let's say, 200 snaps this year, it looks different than him having to get 350 snaps this year and let's say 75 or 80 of them being big snaps that count a lot more than they would have if you had a Hassan Reddick. If you had all three of those guys in a Hassan Reddick, a Josh Sweat, a Bryce Huff, if you had, you know what I'm saying, even Brandon Graham included, you know what I'm saying? Like the snaps now mean a little bit more when you take Hassan out of the fold.
Understand that, but my whole thing is this, right? If you take Hassan Reddick out of the fold, like I said, I don't think that it would like because everything is the known versus the unknown. We don't know what we're going to get from Bryce Huff, like you said, amplifying his snaps, just like Nolan Smith. You didn't really see. All we know is what we seen last year from Bryce Huff, and this is why Harry Roseman was like, "Oh, this is our guy. We're going to go get him." We know about Hassan Reddick. We know how consistent he is and everything like that. We don't know about Nolan Smith. But how would we know about Nolan Smith if we don't give him the opportunities to know, okay, this is not the guy? Also, if Hassan Reddick is actually leaving, then with that pick, you could go and get a Chop Robinson. You could go and get somebody in the draft that can say, all right, well, if we do have the shoulder injury again from Nolan Smith, we got a guy. We got another guy. And then right now, Brandon Graham, yes, you don't want him to play as many snaps because he's up there in age. I know that in certain situations he'd be spectacular, but at the same time, I feel like that he could actually just do it and bow out and give it his all. Then, just sit up there and be like, all right, well, I just want the minimum snaps and that's it. Let the young boys go. If Nolan Smith gets hurt again, then it's like, all right, who we got now? To back him up. So that's why you go with that pick that you get for Hassan Reddick. Get you an edge rusher. Get you an edge rusher. You could do that.
That's what I was saying, like about if you do get the second. If you get the third, I don't really know if you can trade the third because we don't have a third. You kind of want to sit tight in the third if you get a third for him. You know what I mean? So if you get the second, I understand you moving around at that point to either move up or move back. Um, but what I was like I understand what you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. Like Brandon Graham could be acceptive to like, hey man, let the young dudes get out there and get their snaps. But what happens when the young dudes get out there and get the snaps and then the snaps start falling off? They start looking like they did. And now they're like, hey, Brandon, we need you to amp up the snaps. Now you in a situation where you paying a guy like this or you having this type of expectations. That's why I don't want to let Hassan Reddick go because he means so much to the production of these two dudes, to the development of these two dudes. Like I think him being there gives Bryce Huff an opportunity to learn. It gives Nolan Smith an opportunity to learn, but also you can cut back Hassan Reddick snaps, and Hassan Reddick snaps become still as useful, and he becomes more energized or whatever you want to say. He's more rested, so his snaps down the stretch are more effective. So I'm in a situation where I think it, you know what I'm saying, it could help him here. If I was him, if the 22 million was still on the table, me personally, I don't like I told you before, DV. I don't like to calculate another man money. You know what you're worth. Me personally, if I was here, I want to continue to win and not get traded to a team that's not really known for being successful. I would take the 22, and we would meet. Me and Howie would meet somewhere in the middle. We would figure out a way. where the incentives or whatever is off with me, we can make the money. We can make the money shake. But me personally, I
All
would
the
say
edge, out of all the edge rushers that we have, Hassan Reddick is probably the only edge rusher that we have, regardless if it's a Bryce Huff, Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith, even a Brandon Graham, that can actually make a play for somebody on the D line. He's the only edge rusher that can do that. That's why I'm saying that he's worth the 22. I don't know if I'll go any higher than 23 for him, just knowing the cap and knowing the situation that we're in. Because the 20, you could pay him 23, then like, okay, well, the money for Smitty is like, okay, we got to get that money out.
Yep.
DV. What I'm thinking it is too. I don't think it's money, right? I think it's contract breakdown. You know what I mean? Like I think it's
Yeah,
like how he wants
I
the
think it's
money
that
paid
too.
out. How he wants it
Right.
paid out. He might want this amount of money. Like Xavier McKinney for instance. We were in the running, but I think we were probably only offering a certain amount in that first year. And then
Mhm.
here comes Green Bay saying, hey, we'll give you 25 in the first year. You can't compete with that. That's a lot of the contract right there up front in your pocket, money right there, boom.
Probably to Hassan Reddick was probably like, look, man, look, we're gonna pay you 5 point something million. We're gonna give you the buck of the back on the back end, and then you get the incentives too. If you last these years and all that, he probably was like, no, or his team was probably like,
It's probably the
no,
bonus this year, whatever he adding on to this year. And you said 5, so that
could
only
be,
put him at 19. He probably like,
could
nah,
be,
give me. He probably like, nah, give me 7, give me 8 this year, give me 22
it
right
could be.
now. Because maybe it's four, maybe he 19, and then maybe he getting his money in the second year. He like, nah, I want some more money this year. I think that's
I
where
mean,
it's at.
we gotta think about it like that too, like how Hassan Reddick is in a rock at a hard place because you on one hand you got a family to feed and all that. We always say this, but he's a millionaire. But on the other hand, he's like, I want to stay in Philly. You know the circumstances that come with Howie Roseman and his and what he does, especially with this cap and everything, and try to make everything work for everybody. And then also the organization, because the organization comes first. It's like everybody said on the panel, it's a business. So what's the holdup on that? Why are we talking about our reports that's coming out now that these two teams are looking at him, they might be trading him to one of these two teams, things like that. Now everybody's up in the uproar, like, hey, if they get get rid of Hassan Reddick, we're not going to the Super Bowl or anything like that. My whole thing is Hassan Reddick, yes, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's a great player. The age don't matter to me. I feel like that, you know, I don't know if the Eagles are looking at it that way, but the age don't matter to me because he still was playing at a high standard. I feel like in certain situations he was put in bad situations, just like dropping him back in coverage often. I don't know if that's going to be the game plan for Vic Fangio's scheme, but if it is, then he's gonna collide with him a lot to the point where that scheme is gonna go to the opposite side. Like me and you talked about, Smitty, where Josh Sweat is going to be put into coverage a lot more to help out that side with the guy
It's
we
gonna
should
flip.
not name.
So like when it's weak side, the weak side linebacker edge is gonna be out
Mhm.
there running around. So Sweat gonna
It's
be in coverage, Hassan gonna be in coverage, and it might be more than you want. It might be more than he willing to do. You never know what this coming down to, man. Like that's what I was telling somebody on Twitter earlier, DV. Like what you don't understand why it's taking long times to make contracts, and I ain't talking about you, I was talking about him. Cause he's like, why is it taking so long? I'm like, bruh, it's a lot of fine print money things that go on in contracts that you don't get to read. You don't get to see that the lawyer, the agent, he break it down. He's telling you what the fine tunings of it is. And some of it is just small things like with even with CJ, people was like, what's taking so long for the contract to get signed? It might have been a little bit like an injury clause where he loses a certain amount of money. Anything. It's small things. So we don't know what's holding up the contract. Maybe the 22 is enough, but maybe it's something in the contract that says Hassan's people are like, nah, we're not signing that.
coach. We barely tag players, bro. Like that's the scary part. We barely tag players.
Yeah, we
I don't
I
think
barely.
don't
he
think
tag him.
Hassan Reddick would be the first one.
He won't be an unrestricted free agent.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he'll be unrestricted. He won't be restricted. He'll be a free agent, free to walk. You don't get to tag him.
Exactly.
Hey, real quick, I know this Eagle talk, right? But how do y'all feel about the them pretty much saying they like 75-25 on not signing Dak and letting them walk like next year, like letting them play with the money. They don't get a cap hit. They pay him the 55 and then he walk.
No choice.
No,
They
they have a
really have
choice.
no choice.
They have a choice. They
It's
could
a
have paid
choice.
him. They could have paid him. They're
It's a
not
choice.
offering him what he's asking for.
Exactly. You know why? Because they still got to play Micah. They're going to have to pay CD Lamb.
Yep.
So
But
they're not going to.
listen, this is
They're
what
not going to
somebody
do that.
said earlier. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. What happens when
Mhm.
CD Lamb say, I'm gonna do a Justin Jefferson. I don't want to sign a long-term contract.
They don't
The
want to get
Vikings in it
in that
right now. The
situation.
Vikings looking crazy right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They don't want to get put in that situation though. You know Jerry Joe's not going to want to do that.
That's what I'm saying. So if you don't re-sign Dak, what situation are you in next year when you sitting down and looking back and you got Micah paid, you got CD paid, you got Trayvon Diggs paid, and you don't have an offensive line because all those guys are leaving except
Mm-hmm.
for Tyler Smith, who you probably gonna have to move to a position he didn't play last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do
Trey
when you
Lance is
look
going
at
to
the
be.
quarterback position and you have Trey Lance and Cooper Rush?
I mean, you get what you got. You got what you got, or you could trade one of your picks for a backup like a Justin Fields or
You
somebody
know what
like
I would
that.
do if it was me?
Mm-hmm.
I'd take the cap hit and trade him this year.
He got no trade clause.
Yeah, he don't. He don't got. He got no
No,
trade.
I would ask him where he want to go. I would get him where he want to go. Wherever you want to go. You tell me where you want to go. Where would you? The same thing that happened to Russell with Seattle. Where would you go that you would waive your no trade clause? I'll get you there. He probably, to me, I think a Minnesota would be in there. I think Minnesota would get him a first round pick for that maybe right now. No cap.
Yeah, for real,
Because they
for
have
real.
two. They have 11 and 23. Um, I think a team like that, and then he goes and he still has a weapon and a decent defense. You know what I'm saying? So I would ask him this year because this is the factor that people don't want to put into perspective. And I'm telling other Cowboy fans this: if Dak Prescott plays out this season, you're going to be in a position next year where I'm not gonna say Dak is trash because no matter what you want to say, it's crazy. But
Right.
um, he's gonna have you in a position where you're drafting like 18 to 25. You're not getting a top caliber quarterback between those numbers without having to spend some capital again, which you know you don't want to do. I would figure out a way to see where he would want to go right now. Dunk this season. I know it's hard as a Cowboy fan to hear that, but I would dunk this season and figure out where I'm at in the draft. Try to figure out if I'm a top 10 pick, who's the best quarterback to replace this man because you need a quarterback right now on a rookie deal. $60 million per year is not gonna work. Like it's not. It's too much. Like you're gonna end up in a hole where you're gonna end up giving up with the CE Lamb or Micah Parsons.
I would agree. I would agree.
See,
What you
CD Lamb. I mean, not CD Lamb. Michael Parsons would like to come home anyway. You already know that. He'd like to come home.
that I would agree with. That I would agree with. But for me, when it comes to Dak, that's their only choice. They would have to either pay Dak Prescott $60 million or just let him walk next year.
55 now. Yeah,
Yeah, 50.
55
Yeah,
now.
they would.
You
Yeah,
put five on it.
right,
Five on the cat.
right. They would have to do that, King, or they would have to let him walk. Simple as
Bro,
that.
listen, you can get a first this year. You might as well go ahead and do it, bro.
They better think soon because the
Minnesota,
draft.
nah, you got time. You got a month.
Yeah,
You got a month.
yeah, you got a month. Let me
But
check.
I don't know if they smart enough to do it. See me, like people that say, "Oh, you a fan, you can't play GM." Listen, I'm a smart dude. Me personally, I would tank it. Go ahead and tank it out. You got a decent. You got Cam Ward. You got Shakir Sanders. You got a few quarterbacks coming out next year that you can build around right now to get out of cap hell. You either draft a quarterback early this year if you get the opportunity, and then you know you got a quarterback in the hole, or you sit in a situation next year where you're spending 2 or 3 picks to move up to the top 10.
Choices, choices, choices. Go ahead,
And I don't
King.
want to tank on them because I'm
No, I
a
said
because
okay.
I'm an eagle. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
it's easy to tank on them, but they're in a bad situation, bro. As a franchise, like they're in a bad. Like we used to be in this situation. We was in this
Right.
situation when we had to go 4-12. Like, and we drafted Jay. You know what I'm saying? We had Jalen Hurts and we threw him in the fire. Like we was in that situation the year before that because we had Cap Hill. We didn't know what to do, and Carson Wentz was a decent enough quarterback that we wasn't gonna sit low. So he ended up getting benched. Luckily, he was playing so bad that we ended up with a bad season. But I don't see Dak Prescott giving them that type of season. Carson Wentz was a fact of his own demise. Like he just became too much for himself. But that's the only reason we in the situation we in. Like if we don't go 4-12 4 years ago, like we don't got Devontae Smith. Like, and then the next year we don't got AJ Brown. Like it just doesn't happen for us. So we in a situation where like I don't see them going through that. I don't see them getting there with that Prescott. So how do you get out of the situation besides dumping his cap this year? You get a little bit of money back. So I mean, you might can go out and make a trade for a receiver, but you still in the receive. You still. I would just go ahead and rock out with Trey Lance and Cooper Rush.
They ain't gonna do that. We talking.
They not,
They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do that.
but you're not gonna pay him. You're never gonna pay him because guess what? DV, just like Jigga just said, he's gonna come out and win 12 games, and then it's gonna be he's not gonna justify you paying him anything under 60 million again. So then he's gonna walk for a compensatory third-round pick.
That's probably true too, Jigga. It's probably true. That's probably
Let's
true.
see. I think Jimmy Johnson is advising Jerry not to resign Dak. Hey, listen.
We'll
Either
see.
way. Go ahead, King.
Well, no, I'm saying we'll see. We'll
We'll
see if
see.
that's true.
We'll see. Is
I know
that
that's
true?
it's not our team, but it's just a situation where it's sad.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Chargers, bro. It's almost like the Chargers where you got like 4 superstars on super big deals, and you don't know who to keep and who to leave, and then you let both of the receivers go. So you end up with cap, but now you're in a situation next year where you got 2 guys that still eating up the cap. You're gonna get in a situation where if you do get a decent receiver this year, you're gonna be out of contention to get anything valuable next year in the draft.
Yep.
And you don't have draft capital this year. You only got like 6 picks. You have no
Yeah,
cap and like 6 picks
mm-hmm.
because you gave it most up for when you got Khalil Mack,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
you didn't get nothing for Mike Williams. You should have traded him last year like everybody told you to. And then you got what
Loyalty.
a 3rd-round pick for Chicago.
Told you, loyalty. Loyalty. Besides us, we were one of the few teams, but loyalty hurts a franchise. It could.
But back to Eagle talk. I heard something today. Somebody said something about a wide receiver 3, right? And they was like, what if it came down to they said Howie was, say for instance, Howie's possibly to make a trade for corner, right? And he kept his 1st-round pick. And what would y'all say if he was to somehow, I know it's crazy, take Xavier Worthy?
I knew he was about to go there, bro. I knew he
Listen,
was about to
I
go there,
heard
bro.
it and I was like, but I asked him a question. I was like, who's the corner? He was like, between like what he said? He said JC Horn or dang. He said the second one. I can't even remember the second one, but JC Horn was one of them. And I was like, so we got corner sold up and no
If we get
linebackers off the board
PS2,
at 22.
if we have PS2,
No, but that's a first gone. I can't even think about PS2 because I gotta logically think a first is gone if we get PS2, unless somehow
first,
they got 50 and 53. But then that even makes me up because now I don't have linebacker.
yeah, yeah.
So listen, I said J.C. Horn. Somehow we maybe gave them Hassan Reddick. Maybe maybe they gave us a third. We gave them a fifth. Let's say that, right? Uh, and I was just like, we at 22. Uh, Xavier Worthy not really that bad because like he was like, yeah, you juice your offense up, and now you got multiple explosive players. And Xavier don't worthy. I mean, but I was like, the only problem is the touches you want for a first round pick. It just doesn't work out for a first round receiver. Like it just doesn't work out because like even though he's going to be productive in the offense, do you label him as a bust because he's a wide receiver 3 and he's paid at 22? But me personally, like if you bring in a guy, you want your offense to be more dynamic and you want every position to be dynamic, then Xavier Worthy makes our offense scary.
I mean, it does. It's good to talk about, but I honestly don't see a scenario where Howie would do that. I don't think that will happen.
I think it's only if it's the reason I told him the trade didn't work. The only reason I could see him going receiver DV is if he kept Hassan because if Hassan is gone, he's probably going somewhere in the trench.
He is. Todd Robinson will be an Eagle. One of these edge rushers will be an Eagle or a D tackle. You're gonna shore that up more.
Yep. That's me too. We need to fix
But
the
how would you
D.
feel if it wasn't if he took him, but how would you feel if they took him though? That was kind of the question.
I mean, as a content creator, of course, I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna say, look, and as a fan, I'm gonna be excited.
Let's
But
say 50, they
it's
get
still
linebacker for you. They get Edrin Cooper at 50. So we're gonna give you what you want a little bit. Tell me how you feel. 50 is 100% Edrin Cooper, but we took Xavier Worthy at 22. Hey, cool cat. I gotta juice it up for my partner because I know how he think. I know how he think. So
I know.
we got J.C. Horn for the trade.
Right.
We got Edrin Cooper at 50 and Xavier Worthy at 22.
be mad at it.
I wouldn't be mad at that either.
Think that if he does that, one of these guys got to get cut. One of these guys that we were so hype about, preferably Devontae Parker, if that happens,
Right.
because Covey is not going anywhere. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
mad
I
at it
would be.
at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that either. Let's see.
Sure, me, we getting my boy.
Look, you see,
get
I
my
had to go
boy?
in there and say Cooper is
Then it's like, all right,
50, 100%.
okay, mm-hmm,
Or
mm-hmm.
however they want to do it, move it up with 50, whatever. I think Cooper and Trotter are on the list, 100%.
Of course. They're doing interviews here with him, man.
The
John
only problem
Clark
I
said
don't
an
want,
interview
DV,
with him
is
and his
them to
dad.
force Howie hand and somehow Cooper go into like the top 15. Or not even Cooper. Let's keep Cooper out the board. The guy from Wilson, he go top 15. And now Howie like, oh man, is the linebackers gonna go at the end of the first? Do I need to jump now? Do I need to get my guy now?
It's
Because
possible.
it's a couple teams behind us that's
Yep.
linebacker needy. So it's like, dang, do I take
Cowboys.
Cooper now? Do I
Cowboys
pull
is
the
one of them.
trigger?
Cowboys is one of them. I don't want to see Ezra Cooper twice a year. I want him to play for us. I don't want. I don't want to see him twice a year.
But you
No,
know what? Somebody told me this. They said if you take Cooper at 22, the Cowboys take a Trotter at 23.
see that. See that. And did you seen the interview? His dad saying he not wearing the jersey. He gonna wear his college
There
jersey.
you
He
go.
not gonna
I
wear
wear
it. He
neutral
ain't wearing the
colors.
Cowboys. Yep.
But look, if they take Trotter at 23, I agree with you, coach. That's a big mistake. They need tackle.
they need tackle.
They need
They
tackle.
do.
Because you know what? They're finna move a guy in Tyler Smith who has gotten comfortable at guard. You're gonna move him to tackle, and he's gonna have learning woes again that he had already last year, getting adjusted to being a guard when he was a tackle. You gonna move him back outside, and now he gonna be skirmish, man. He gonna be left tackle.
Yo,
Whatever
coach,
quarterback is
don't
in
say
that
that
pocket
because
is
if
gonna
the
be
Texas
scared.
if the Texas take Cooper, bro, that defense is gonna be crazy. Even more crazy than it was last year.
I think they're going offense.
You think so? Mm.
I think they on offense. Their defense is solid, bro. Their problem was when they receiver 2 went down, they didn't have no more options.
What pick?
They
What pick
only
are they?
had
What pick are they?
20
Who?
something.
Because I don't want them to get worthy either. Like I don't want them to do that. I want
They
that.
might. If we don't get them, they might. I'm gonna tell you right now. Texans are pick. Oh, they don't have a first round pick. Never mind.
Cool.
Texans don't have a
Man.
first round.
All right.
Yep.
They don't.
So
Texans have 42. They don't have a pick.
right.
I think their pick is somebody else's pick. Who they traded for?
Yeah. They did. I
They
just saw
traded
it.
for
I just saw it.
somebody.
Just saw it.
Oh, the Cardinals. The
The
Cardinals.
Cardinals. The Cardinals.
Cardinals.
The
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Well, the Cardinals don't even have the pick no more. Minnesota has the pick.
I said the Cardinals did.
No,
I'm looking
Minnesota
at it
traded
right
for the
here.
pick. Minnesota
You
traded
talking
for
about?
it. Minnesota just traded for it. They got 11 and 23.
No, you talking about?
They traded out with
No,
the
that
Texans
Houston.
traded out with the Vikings.
That Houston. That no, I know the
Houston
Houston
traded it.
pick.
Yeah, they
The
traded
Houston. The Houston
Cardinals traded
pick
with somebody. Who they traded with
from
last year?
the Cardinals pick from Houston is to 27th.
Oh,
Oh,
Houston
man.
had 2 first round picks. Dang, Houston eating. Oh no, Houston had Cleveland pick, and Cleveland and they traded. Okay. I got it now. Remember they
Okay.
got Cleveland pick for the Deshaun trade, and then they traded they pick this year with that, and then they traded the Cleveland pick to Minnesota. All right. Now I understand it.
Hmm.
You sir.
Let's see. The round one, the Houston Texans.
They traded out.
Hold on.
They traded out. They don't have a first round pick. Zero
Yeah, because
first
I
round. They
was.
got 42. Their second round pick is 42. Their first
Yeah,
round
because
pick
I was.
that they had from Cleveland went to Minnesota, and their 24th pick is no 23rd pick. 23rd pick.
Hold
Who
on.
got the 23rd pick? Somebody got 11 and 23. But they got another pick. Who did they trade with? They traded a pick. I gotta find
Just
out
so
who got.
everybody can see
Who else
who
got 2
got
first round
what.
picks? Yeah, who else got two
The
first round
Cardinals.
picks?
So right now the Cardinals. The Cardinals got the
Oh yeah,
27.
the Cardinals because they
Yeah,
traded. They
yep.
traded back into
Cardinals
the first last
got
year. They traded back into the first last year to
yep.
get the edge rusher, the rookie
Yep.
edge rusher.
Arizona Cardinals got number
4 and 27.
27 from the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
And the Minnesota Vikings got number 23 from Cleveland through Houston.
But from the Texans though, yeah. I don't know why they did
Yeah.
that. That's kind of a dumb move for me. With a young team moving forward, I don't know why you trade out of the first round.
I mean,
You just made the playoffs. You just overachieved. Why not go out and get at 23? With this deep of a draft, you still can get a decent piece. At 23, it's gonna be a lot of receivers on the board, a lot of cornerbacks, a lot of skill position that you could have got for that team. I just don't know why they would trade up.
So there's
I
that.
would have been
The
upset if
Philadelphia.
Howie had traded out the first round pick and we just had a rookie quarterback go
of
all the
course.
way that far in the playoffs. To the divisional round, he got the first playoff win, and then you trade out the first round. Interesting.
Yeah. So speaking of wide receivers, former Giant wide receivers Paris Campbell reached an agreement on a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. King, your reaction?
He as of right now, as it stands, until further notice, he's wide receiver 3 to me. He's the day one starter for me. I think that him running the 4-3 back in 2019. it speaks volumes. I know that he had some down years, he had injury. But overall, man, like I think he still is an explosive player right now. He's better than any wide receiver three that we got on the roster right now. So why not, just put him at wide receiver three at the start of the season? He's good. He got good hands. Um, um, decent. I ain't gonna say the best, but decent route running. But you know, he's only expected to catch a certain amount of passes a year, especially with 1A and 1B on each side. Plus Styles Goddard. And then you also got Saquon that's going to be in the passing game too. So that wide receiver three is going to be crucial. Got him over Quez Watkins, of course. So, I think this is a good pickup. Good competition for wide receiver three spot. It does push a guy like Devontae Parker if he stays on the roster. The role that we thought that Julio Jones was going to be in last year in the red zone and everything like that. If we not playing that two tight end, if we don't bring in the tight end that, or if they're not utilizing Albert O, however they want to put this tight end too. But I feel like Devontae Parker would be great in the in the 50-50 balls, even though his number was very low recently. But that's where I would see him at. He will have to come in here and try to prove himself. But right now, Paris Campbell, I like to pick up.
Smitty?
Hold on, real quick. Let me see something. I just want to see something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He played. All right, so let's see. The last 2 years, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I think he's a decent receiver. I think if you give him an opportunity, he can make something happen. But he's only had one decent season in his career. At this point, other than 2022, he's been obsolete. He needed 90 targets, 63 receptions for 623 yards. Um, he's not gonna get that many opportunities here, I don't think. But I want to see what he can do in the open field if he's wide open. He does, as DV said, get the nod for me over Quez Watkins at this moment. I would like to see if we still address the wide receiver position anymore in this offseason. But right now, I'm okay with the Paris Campbell. This is another Nick Sirianni guy. See, that's why when people tell me Nick Sirianni doesn't have anything to do with this team or offense, it kind of makes me a little bit side eye because this is a guy who is a Nick Sirianni guy. He's a Zach Pascal Nick Sirianni guy, just like before. So nobody can tell me Nick Sirianni is just a puppet. He just sitting back and he ain't doing nothing. He bringing in his own guys. Paris Campbell is his guy. He probably vouched for him. He probably put his word out there for him. So I'm happy to see what he can do in this offense. If he can get some separation, if he can get open, if he can get opportunities, I think he could be fine. Um, he played. He only started 3 games last year. He was available for 12 games. Before that, I mean, he really hasn't been a factor in any of his other seasons in the league. So, if we can mimic something close to what he did in 2022, getting some of them wide open catches and some of them deep balls, and I think he'll be fine. But I still want to address the wide receiver position because I don't trust Devontae Parker with a spoon and a fork. And we was eating cereal and pasta.
Yep. And the next news is the Eagles are signing former Patriot Will get I'll just say his first name to a 1-year deal per source. In the past week, the Eagles now added Will and Kenny Pickett to the roster. And according to John McCullen, his understanding is that the Eagles are still high on the upside of Tanner McKee as the number 3 developing QB behind Jalen freaking Hurts.
Well, but Greer just an assistant coach, man.
Yes, go ahead, Smee. You start us off.
He just here to help people learn the offense. He know the offense. He was in offense for like what 2 or 3 years over there in Dallas, sitting as the third stringer. He just coming in. He's a good teacher, man. You ever cool cat? You ever see those dudes who can't play the game, but they are a good presence around other people and they're able to teach other people. That's who he is. He's like Josh McCown in his last days in the league. Like
Here you go. Here you go.
yeah, so
Yeah, King.
I feel like this, right? Like I understand that he knows the office and everything like that. A lot of people on Twitter when they signed him, they were in an uproar. They was like, "Oh, who's this guy?" and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, he knows the offense. He's going to be either a camp body or he's just going to be a practice squad guy, depending on where it is with the competition. It's going to be some type of competition, but at the end of the day, I feel like that we already know who our three quarterbacks are. Um, Regardless, but the put Tanner McKee at QB3, I feel like that's not doing it justice for him. I think that he could compete because he was on this squad, to be either QB2 or even a practice squad guy. But you can't just say QB3. But Will Greer, like the guy CC, he tried to tell me that this guy was good. Hey, what's going on, Shakita?
Shakita.
hey, he's stealing my bars, man. Come on, man. Hey,
Yes.
what's going on
Say it.
here?
Say it then.
You done stole it now. Hey,
but
Shakita, how you doing? What's up,
My
sis?
bad, Shakita.
so
My bad.
so here's the thing, right? I feel
Mhm.
like this. I feel like that it's nothing to be up in the uproar about. This is just a camp body. Honestly, I'll be surprised if it go further than that. Like I said, we already know who's our who will be our quarterbacks. Sometimes we only have two quarterbacks on game day anyway. So we just see where it goes from there.
Yep. And finally, let's go ahead and give our NFL draft preview. Your top five priorities going into the draft is what, King? If you can think of.
Stands right now,
Mm-hmm.
you got to go in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be wrong saying offensive line, defensive line. Um, you got to go either edge rusher or linebacker. You also gotta somewhere like I kind of agree um to an extent with what Stu said yesterday about the tight end. I will put that between fourth and sixth
Mm-hmm.
round. Um, But I would say that would be the needs because wide receiver is not really a huge need. Now that could be a bonus. Um, Cornerback is a need as well. A cornerback is a need. You want to get a cornerback in here. If you could get in the first two, and you got a guy for 4 to 5 years or so forth, then so be it. But I feel like right now, I think the O line, linebacker, edge, and cornerback would be my top four. And then if you want to go tight end or wide receiver three, have at it, or even running back.
Right. Smitty?
I'm not gonna say Edge because I don't know the outcome of Hassan Reddick. So Edge is off my list already at that point. Until I know the outcome of Edge, I don't know. I don't know where to put that at because it could easily be a situation where Hassan Reddick come to an agreement with Howie Roseman, he on the roster, and then it's deleted off my list. So right now it's gonna be an honorable mention. First on the list, cornerback. Second on the list, linebacker. Third on the list is wide receiver three for me. Um, I like Paris Campbell, but I don't think he's that dynamic of a wide receiver to me. When you look at the stats, when you look at the tape, outside of 2022, in a team that was very poor, I don't think he was really well. And I would say before I addressed the edge as my honorable mention, it probably be offensive line. I want to probably, if I can, go get that tackle. If it's a guy out there. If it's not, then it's probably edge at four. But that's my top five.
Yep. For me, it's the same as King. It's corner, linebacker. I would go safety because I think we need some to step up. Wide receiver and offensive line would be my top five as well.
But
That
the only
would be
reason I ain't say safety too is like we kind of in talks with safeties at this moment, so
right.
I don't really know where that stands. So that's kind of out. Sit, but I don't even know if we would. I don't know what safety like we could go get in the draft. Cool cat.
Right. So if I
Most of the
had to
guys you can
switch
take in the
state,
draft is most of the guys you can take in the draft. I think to me, outside of like Cameron Kitchens, who really his stock been dropping fast.
yeah,
It's probably Williams from Miami too. I mean, both of those guys. But other than that, I don't really know too many. Javon Bullard, third round pick. It's
right.
hard. Safety this year is so weird. Because safety
Yeah,
is usually like you can find like 4 or 5 guys and be like, you could take them, they quality guys. And it's like this year's the first year where I'm looking at the draft and I'm like, where's the quality safeties? But most of them
yeah,
converting, man. Most of them converting the cornerback or linebacker
Quarterback. Yep.
because they either too slow to be safeties or they too short to be safeties, and then they moving. So it's like a lot of guys were like the safeties are ex linebackers because they lost their position to safeties that turned linebacker.
right,
It's crazy.
right. So if I had to switch safety to defensive
No,
end,
you can leave safety there. I was just saying like it's just
right,
one of those tricky ones. Like where
right.
like I've been looking at safety a cool cat. Like I've really been
Mhm.
trying to find quality safety, and I'm just like,
On the check down too. By the way, salute
yeah.
to the
So
biggest
we've
check
been
down
trying.
mock draft.
Even us are like 3 dudes that's really into like looking at tape like on a regular, and we even on it like, man, if you take a safety out of this one in the first round, you're a fool. You almost a fool for taking one in the second. So it's to the point where like even Cameron Kitchens, who's a standout, I'm looking at him as a third round pick because he got so many problems with his game. Like he's not great in coverage, he's not great tackling, he's not great in run support. It's like and then he just don't got the measurables to be a safety. So it's like you look at it and it's like, yeah,
Mhm. I
yeah.
mean,
Now next year is some. I ain't gonna talk about next year, but there's some safeties coming out if we need them still. Hopefully, Sidney Brown that broke out. CJ Happy, Reed Blankenship good. Jesus Christ.
exactly. So we'll dive into more NFL draft talk tomorrow on the B.O.B.S. Birds of Broad Street. So go ahead, King, give your final thoughts, and then we'll.
Man, all I got to say is fly Eagles fly and see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna be back at it at 7:45 ish.
Yep,
Hopefully the whole team can be here, but we're gonna be on there talking more draft talks, talk about the needs and everything like that. I know we're gonna go back to the drawing board, seeing what news we can find and everything like that. We touched on a
yeah,
little bit here, but it's gonna
yeah,
open up a lot more on Birds of Broad Street. So stay tuned for that.
yep. Smitty?
Same thing, man. Just fly Eagles fly, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man.
Yep. And for me, guys, listen, subscribe to all the channels. I want Birds of Broad Street to get to 1,000 so we can get the super chats. Because me, King DV, and Moan had a good time last year. We want to keep that momentum going. So please subscribe to the Birds of Broad Street YouTube channel so we can get the whole crew to a game. So help us out, please, because it was great last year. We want the whole crew back at a game next year. So please help us out.
What's great?
Subscribe.
What you mean it was great last year? We lost, bro.
I'm talking about the tailgate. I didn't mean the game. I ain't talking about the game. I'm talking about before that.
Okay. You talk about the tailgate. Okay.
Right. I didn't mean the game. I ain't talking about that part. I'm talking
The
about when I
tailgate,
was
the
here.
tailgate, the tailgate was fun, man. You had Simone, you had uh
Yeah, I'm
uh
talking about hanging with my brother
her
and sister.
guy, her guy, you
Yeah,
had
I was
me,
talking about
you.
hanging with my brother and sister. I didn't mean the game.
I was lit, bro. Like
I
I was lit.
know. I was talking about guys. I was talking about hanging with my brother and sister. I did not mean the game. I'm talking about my
Okay.
brother and sister.
So yeah. I
Right.
need to know what games everybody going to this week. I mean this year though, because I'm trying to go to
Exactly.
2 at least.
Dallas. Let's do Dallas.
There you go.
Okay.
No,
That's
for
one of
All
the
real,
games I wanted to go to.
Dallas. Let's go
No,
Dallas.
no, I want that's the game I wanted to go to.
All
Which
right.
one? Here at the link? If it's here at the link, done.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause yeah.
Yeah, the one at the link, not the one at
Yeah.
AT&T. The one at the
Yeah.
link.
That's my number. I'm always going to that game, so done. So there you go. Help us out, y'all, because we'll be at the link for Dallas. So help us out.
This
Subscribe to
time
all the
I'll be
channels.
awake. I won't do anything crazy. Actually, I'm not going to even leave the day. I will leave like 2 days ahead. So if I do have any mistakes, I can basically get this.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but okay.
I wasn't going to bring that up either. So,
It
but
ain't
you got to help.
happening this time.
Exactly. So help Smitty out. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to our channels. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Fly, Eagles fly.
Fly, Eagles fly.